Hi, well, here I am again, Hirsch Sahag, talking from Auckland, New Zealand, and date is 28th of July, Sunday, 28th July 2019. Um, Hopefully, the first video well, went better than I thought, but I didn't think it was that good personally. But here's an interesting topic I wanted to talk about was basically looks or appearance. And many of us think that being good looking or having good looks, being attractive, is a huge advantage, and without a doubt it is for many reasons, and that's always what I thought. I do remember though once speaking with a friend at a party, quite a few number of years ago now. I think it was about 2014ish around there, and she of course was she was very very good looking. Basically, most people would score a 10 out of 10, or simply call the smoking hot blonde. And just something she sort of said, something she told me, just I'll just never forget, and were just sort of things that I had not really thought about before, and which I thought was sort of less obvious. So, like I said at the beginning, being good looking has its obvious advantages, but what she said was that, believe you me, it can also be a disadvantage. She was saying just being extremely good looking is just wherever I go, people are always staring at me. Um, no matter what I'm doing, and if it's just something very everyday or mundane, such as doing grocery shopping or walking in the street, or getting cash from an ATM, or waiting in line at a shop for something. She said people are just always staring at me, and obviously it's not so comforting. She says, I want to go to the beach and just relax on the sand, and again, people are staring. So some groups of friends, girls, won't always associate with her because they might be jealous that she is so good looking. Um, she might say achieve something, maybe get a good job, or score very well on a test or an exam, or say get a driver's license or whatever. But people will say, she'll know that people will say, oh, she just got that because she was really good looking. Well, you know, perhaps that happens and sometimes, but maybe she actually achieved it because she worked hard for it. And she'll say, you can always tell when people are talking that way behind your back. Even close friends and family sometimes talk that way behind her back. And she says, ideally they should be supportive, but as the saying goes, people are only human, and yes, they do get jealous, but again, that's just a perfectly normal human trait. No one is perfect. So it was really interesting to sort of hear these things from her, saying that, being extremely good looking can be a disadvantage for sort of less obvious reasons. And she says, I work in retail, and literally 3 or 4 times a day I get asked out, and I'm just like, no, just please let me do my job. I just want to focus on the job. She says, so that's annoying. And it's interesting because when I heard that, I can already hear in my head so many other people on the other end of the spectrum saying, oh, well, at least you've got a job. I won't even get the damn job in the first place because I'm not so good looking. And again, that's another point, but she's just arguing it from that extreme. Like other girls, or just other people in general, not just females, people in general who are not so good looking, would say things like, oh, I never get noticed, I never get appreciated, I never get offered anything, I never get any attention. What this girl is saying, from being on the very attractive end of the spectrum, is saying that it's really, when you're at that end of the spectrum, it's really the opposite problem. Too much attention, too much, people always, interested in you or running or chasing you around. And I remember her even saying that she might go on a website, say a dating website, or a social website, and she'll get so many messages and likes and people who want to, be close to her, but for an obvious reason. She was saying, yes, I'm the smoking hot blonde, but all people see is this face, and they don't always realize that behind the face, there's a person, there's a whole life, there is someone with a whole history and dreams and aspirations and strengths and weaknesses, everything. And I agree, I can see that. Some people don't always see that just because they see her face at first. And she says, even things like if I want to go out at night in town, I can never go alone without being just continually harassed or bombarded or chased by guys or swarms of drunken people, drunken guys, all over me. She says, whenever I go out, I always have to go out with a group of friends just to sort of keep keep safe. And I can also understand that as well. So it's also sort of interesting to hear these sort of things. It had never really occurred to me before that, being very, very good looking can actually be a disadvantage for those reasons. Too much of attention and people judging you, people being jealous of you. And to add to that, I'd like to say that the same even goes with intelligence and wealth. When you are so intelligent, or even if you're just very intelligent in one way, and then you see everyone else as well below you, it can be frustrating, if you're very smart and everyone else appears to be not as smart, even just a certain field, or they appear to be slower. It can be frustrating. It's like working at a very slow computer. In my personal opinion, there is nothing more frustrating in this day and age than a slow computer. I mean, maybe being stuck in traffic as well, but just being a slow computer is still extremely frustrating, at least for myself. So yeah, in comparison to having extremely good looks, there's also being very intelligent, which can actually be a disadvantage. People are jealous of it. People are not on the same level as you, and it's hard to relate to them, and you feel like you're a bit of an outsider. They laugh at things easily, and you don't. You see through it. The other one that I mentioned is wealth. Again, that's another thing. When you're very wealthy, again, people are naturally jealous of that, and you feel that you're not on the same level as them, you're ahead of them, and you can't always relate to them because they're, well, if you like, behind you, or just really on another level. So it's interesting, these sort of traits in life, whether it's looks or whether it's intelligence or whether it's wealth, being, if you like, high up in it, or being very good at it, obviously has its advantages, but can also have its disadvantages. So I thought that was a really interesting sort of, some topic to think about, and really one to always keep in mind, especially before you judge someone. Cool. Thank you.